In this video, I am going to discuss a bad wheel bearing and how to tell if you most likely have a worn wheel bearing just by how the vehicle drives. Now, I've been waiting for a while to find a vehicle that had that symptom. I actually did a video on wheel bearings, how to verify if they're worn. That involves shaking the tire, taking the tire off, looking at how the drive shaft goes through the steering knuckle, all that kind of thing. But I've been wanting a vehicle that has a bearing that is worn, but not so severely worn that I could actually wait a little bit and make the video that I'm going to make right now. So I want to discuss something before we get out on the road, a symptom of a bearing, and in this case the bearing is on the driver's side. So what's going to happen is, as we're driving along and I make a right turn, so I'm going to turn this way, the bearing, if it's on the left side, because the weight of the vehicle is going to be going in this direction. See if I can get this straight. So as I say, the driver's side bearing in this case is worn. So as we go in the direction of the passenger side, or we turn the vehicle to the right, the inertia of the vehicle is going to put most of the weight on the left side of the vehicle. So basically, we're going to hear that whirring noise that is a very common symptom of a worn wheel bearing when we turn right. So basically, a little rule to keep in mind, and this is like any other rules when it comes to vehicles, a general rule. If you are turning in one direction and the sound of the bearing, whether it be a squealing or a whirring noise, gets worse, then it's probably the bearing, it's the wheel bearing on the opposite side of the direction you're turning. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but again, so if I'm turning right and the squeal or the whirring noise of the bearing is getting worse, and you can feel it getting worse, then that's going to be the bearing on the other side, the opposite side of the direction you're turning. I'm hoping this is going to come out in the camera. We're making a turn to the right. Hopefully that whirring noise that just got worse you can hear. Okay, now we're going to turn to the left. Now it's very obvious in the vehicle that as I turn to the left, putting the weight of the vehicle on the right, that the whirring noise has pretty much disappeared. Confirming what I talked about with the fact that the wheel bearing on the left side of the vehicle. Okay, we're going to turn right, out on the highway here. Turn right again. I'm hoping that whirring noise is coming through, and I can actually even feel my foot is on the accelerator, and I can feel a vibration increasing as I turn right, putting the weight of the vehicle, as we discussed, on the left side of the vehicle on that bad bearing. And here we're going to make another turn here. The faster you go, generally, the worse that whirring noise will get. And as soon as I start to turn to the left, the noise will decrease.